kidnapped as a kid, but released by Creations. Here's your look at the brand new Mattel Master Universe Origins Despara, powerful captain of the evil horde. As a loyal servant of the Horde, Despara, known for her formidable combat skills and dedication to Hordak, the last time we saw her was in the Classics line, and now we've brought her to the Origins line, in time for the 40th anniversary of She-Ra, Princess of Power, which is a fitting since, spoiler alert, Despara was born as Princess Adora, the alter ego of She-Ra, and the twin sister of He-Man, who helped her discover her true identity. Long before she was the rebel Adora, she was the adopted recruit. Let's take the tape measure, shall we, and see how tall the Mattel Creations Despara stands. Now, she's available right now over on Mattel Creations' site. As a Canadian collector, I can tell you I paid $30 for the figure. If you're a U.S. collector, expect to pay just a little less than that. Despara, who will, of course, become Adora, is going to stand at 5.5 inches in height. She does. You can see it for yourself. That works out to be a figure that's 14 centimeters tall. You'd like to think at least I'd have a She-Ra ready for this review, and unfortunately I can't find my Origin She-Ra. Maybe my daughter's taken her upstairs. Here's, though, what the figure looks like with the regular Hordak. That's not true, really. It's the regular Hordak, yet the head is coming from the Buzzsaw Hordak Deluxe release. I really think that the smiling face works a little bit better. If you like, though, his regular ugly mug, it happens to be then used as well with the Mattel Creations exclusive Hurricane Hordak. Let's bring in a Horde Trooper. Just bring in one. I actually have a couple of Horde Troopers, but I only really need the one for comparisons. Let's bring in also a couple of other examples. Here's also what she looks like with Horde fellow members, not only Mantenna, but also Grizzler on the other side. Now, the only other time we've gotten Despara looking like this was with the original Four Horsemen Master Universe Classics Despara, which had a very similar look to what we're getting here. I believe she also came included with her swords. What she didn't come included with, though, was this mini comic. This was entitled Phantoms of Despara, which you can actually see She-Ra on one side and then the adopted Adora on the other. I do like the way they've got that split right down the middle, sort of her dark side and her light side, and the power sword sort of splitting in the middle. If we look through, though, the comic, we get some really nice images, not only of Leech, there's Hordak, there's also Adora down below there as well. This is all, by the way, flashbacks, so when she first kind of holds aloft the sword, she kind of is thinking back to the days that she was fighting along with the Horde. There's also as well a Shadow Weaver there up the top corner. Really nice looking artwork. You know, being sort of disappointed with what we've been getting artwork styling for some of the Master Universe mini comics as of late, and especially Turtles of Grayskull, I think, though, that they've kind of upped the ante with the art styling of what we're getting inside the comic that comes included with Despara. Like, especially this image right here with the cracked glass and Despara on the one side, She-Ra on the other. There's no advertisements on the back for any other figures, and this, to my knowledge, will be the only time we'll ever get this mini comic. Unless maybe they use the comic again, we get another version of She-Ra, but I think it's likely that we're only going to see this one time release of this comic. Let's move that off, though, to the side. Okay, so when it comes to Despara's accessories, she comes first of all with these two blades. I can already tell you right away, I think the blades are way too big. If you're looking at just even like the guard and the hilt, and you compare it with the size of her hands, they're way too big. And even just to put it next to her, this broad sword, even though it's broad, goes almost to about her shoulders. Now, you can take the swords and you can obviously display them in her hands, but I think it serves more as more of a reminder that the swords are way too big. It's almost like they've used themselves the Master Universe Classics Triclops swords, even though, like Triclops, I think his had 3 dots on the guard, but a very similar guard, a very similar hilt, and a very similar sized sword. I would have probably even shrunk the sword down by half the size, because again, like if you're putting at this, look at the ridiculous size of how big these blades are. It also obviously makes the figure a lot more front heavy too, so you're going to have to lean her back just a bit so she can accommodate holding blades as big like this. There's also storage space as well, so you can go ahead and take those swords. You can look on the back of the figure and locate it on the top. They're not necessarily sheaths, but at least there's a place to store them. You take one and crisscross the applesauce and just put the other one in the other way. At least there's storage space for that. I mean, yes, it does look a little bit big from the front, but at least there's a place to store the swords if, again, you're not looking to put them into her hands. Obviously, the big reveal to this as well is that she's going to be wearing a mask. So let's go ahead and just actually remove these swords first. Just kind of move them off to the side. Her face actually is very similar, in fact, to Hordak. I mean, how egotistical that Hordak not only has her working for him, but she has to also wear a mask that's similar to his face. As you can see, like just short of maybe having not as much paint, like Hordak has clearly a lot larger visible eyes. Her teeth are also, well, clearly, I mean, it's not her real face. This is just her mask. But you can see also she has the fangs in the front, very similar to Hordak's too. Now, the mask itself only just really attaches on the back of her face. It's sort of clamped on either side. So you just go ahead. First of all, I want to show you guys what that face looks like. Very similar color to Hordak. Yeah, again, you got the little red eyes there, beady little red eyes. Nicely painted teeth. But to go ahead and remove the mask, it's just a case of just pulling it off the sides. That's it. If it was big enough, you could probably wear it around as a ring too. But yeah, it's maybe on my pinky. Okay, maybe as a pinky finger ring, I can do that as well. Who in their right mind is gonna wear a Despara ring? Right now, somebody in the back is putting up their hand. Oh, I would. But yeah, that's basically just that's how it works. It just clips on the side of her face. I don't worry as much where that they're actually putting the mask. I don't think it's in a place necessarily that's going to scrape away the paint. But once you remove the mask, this is basically what Adore's face would look like underneath. Again, like with a shorter hairstyle like this, it doesn't read as much like Adore other than just the fact that she's got the blonde hair. It's a good looking face, I will say, though. I mean, again, she's kind of got like the darker eyes underneath. I'm guessing that's makeup. The face is pretty, though, for what it is. And spin this around so you guys can see it from all the sides. Now, she does also have a cape. The cape technically could be removed as well. To do all that, first just show you guys what the armor looks like. Now, it doesn't really have like a horde symbol necessarily, so don't expect like the gargoyle face with the, like the bat wings. Instead, what she kind of gets like is this kind of arrow shape. Now, when you move, obviously, the shoulder around, it's going to kind of disjoint some of that, so it's not going to look seamless. Now, again, you could take the cape off. The cape is sculpted all in plastic. I like that it's textured like this, so it looks like a little basket weaving. It's a soft enough plastic, too. It's not super rigid either. But if you didn't like this at all, because it's going to obviously flop around, there's no real place that it's pegged on the back of the figure's body. All you have to do is really just pop off the figure's head, just like that. And then we can go ahead and just take. So like the cape and the shoulders are all one piece. You just slide that off all together. And it's still fully painted on the back. It's not like they phoned it in at all. So you can still get like Adore just displayed. Like, let's just say you want to have two of these, for example. One where just Adore, or what she will be Adore, if you want to just have her displayed without the cape, without the mask, do that in that way. And then just have the other figure displayed with all the things we just finished taking off. Nicely painted body overall. I would imagine she's probably using a very similar style of body. Probably should have brought in like Evil Lynn and maybe even, I don't know, maybe Tila, because they probably would have used also similar arms, similar torso. She's got a different skirting though. Like the skirting is, like if you look at it, it kind of fits over top of her waist. So you'd have to kind of pop the waist off. You'd remove this. Well, we were just undressing her altogether. Yeah, you could take that off too. So that's basically what she would look like with like everything stripped down to the basics. Still, there's a lot of nice paint that goes in here too. Like you can see, like brand new sculpted boots. They've painted now in the thighs. They've painted in the arm area there as well, and painted a brand new like torso piece. Well, I shouldn't say a brand new torso piece. My guess is that they're probably using like the She-Ra body or the standard female bodies, but really went in there, did a lot of cool painting. The way they've actually painted this, it kind of makes her look like a Black Widow. Not Black Widow from the Marvel comics, but I guess really somewhat too. But just that Black Widow kind of symbol, even though it's really like an hourglass, it's more like an elongated diamond in this case. I think the paint, though, is really nice on the figure. Now, for the figure's articulation, if you're expecting anything new from like outside the regular female bodies, don't. Because the female articulation is going to still carry over here as well to Despara. Head's going to be on a ball joint, so yeah, you can rotate the head all the way around. It can look down and up. You can also move it back and forth as well. The arms comfortably rotate all the way around. It may not be as comfortable, granted, if you have the shoulder pads in place. I mean, if you like, should we just, okay, hold on a second. Let's just kind of go through everything else. So she does have, like, again, your T-pose for the arms. That's on both sides. She has a swivel on her arm. That's on this side, too. There's an elbow bend. There's a hand rotation. The only thing I would be critical about when it comes to using this body is, I don't know, it seems very loose. The top of the torso is very loose from the bottom. I don't think it at all has anything to do with the fact I detached the body just to take off the skirting. Maybe it just is the case that they've used the body so often that over time, yeah, it's developed a little bit more looseness. The legs do split out, almost a full splits. Well, yeah, full splits for Despara. You can take the legs and move forward and move them back. A little bit of a swivel there at the top of the thigh. Single hinge for the knee. Although I noticed with my knees, not my knees, her knees, they're very tight to the point where I don't feel like I really want to bend them without heating them up first. I didn't really actually heat them up prior to this review. I mean, again, you can bend it, but it bends at super, super tight friction. The boots are a separate piece, so they rotate back and forth. You can hinge the feet up and down this way, and you can also rock them back and forth as well. Short of maybe a few little looseness aspects to now the figure, I mean, again, like the lower end of her waist is super loose. The only other thing I would really say from a criticism standpoint is I do wish that the figure could have maybe included smaller swords. I think, for me personally, I think the swords are way too big. Just go ahead and get everything back on her body here. Pop off the head. Again, like if you're looking at the back too, there's this peg right here, and I don't think it's not even really so much a peg. It's just so it sits more flushed against her torso. Go ahead and just take her head back and put it back in place. Now, when it also comes to displaying her on the shelf, I think what I might just end up doing is sort of kind of have the mask kind of in her hand like this. So it looks like she just took off her mask. I can't see myself really ever displaying the mask on her as good as it. I think like Mattel's done such a great job on sculpting and painting it, but I think it loses the fact that there's a mystery, a surprise underneath. Now, obviously, anybody that doesn't know, anybody who's not within the know, that Adora ends up being, well, obviously, she is adopted in as a child to the Horde and then eventually frees herself and becomes part of the rebel. If you didn't know that, though, and then obviously you just have the figure displayed on the shelf like this, some friend of yours is going to come up to you and say, well, like, who's this figure? Is that almost looks like She-Ra? And then you'll have to kind of explain to him, well, it's sort of the backwards end of like Luke Skywalker's backstory. Instead of being adopted by good people, She-Ra was kind of adopted from bad people, that obviously being Hordak. And then, of course, she just realized the error of her ways and became a rebel after that. I like the figure. I think the figure looks really nice. And up to this point, the only other time we've gotten this figure released was the Master Universe Classics. Now, also was a larger scale figure, a lot more expensive too. I really like the look of her. The only thing I don't like, though, is the fact that the swords are way too big. Especially, it becomes even more apparent when you start to put the swords in her hand. I know, again, we talked about this at the beginning of this review. To go and put the swords back in her hand like this, not only is it visibly, I think, too awkward looking, because again, like I just don't think the swords work with her size of body, but it also makes the figure a lot more front heavy too. Bringing in also one of the other Mattel Creations exclusives. This was the Hurricane Hordak. Hurricane Hordak, I ended up picking up 2 of those just so I could have one still sealed, because I remember having the Hurricane Hordak as a kid. I had one sealed, and then I had the one loose on display. I don't know if I have a very similar feeling to Despara. I like the look of the figure, but not enough, I feel like, where I want to keep one sealed away, kept inside of her plastic prison, hopefully that she's able to breathe. I think I'm happy just to have grabbed the one. Now, she is still available. She is, good news, still available on Mattel Creations site. As a Canadian, I could say I paid $30. As a U.S. collector, you expect to pay a little bit less than that. I think she has a limit of 3. I can't see many people buying more than really 1 or possibly even 2, but they are available as of right now on Mattel Creations site if you're interested. I think the Mattel Creations is an ideal place that Mattel could put some of those deep cut characters in there that collectors can source them out without having to try to find them in the stores. I don't think, though, like Despara would have worked maybe as well as being a peg figure, just because, again, like collectors walking by that may be familiar with She-Ra, but may not be familiar with She-Ra's origins. Again, for the price of what they're selling these on, I mean, like Mattel Creations selling a She-Ra figure or as a Despara figure for $30. $30 isn't bad at all. At the time that I actually ordered Despara, I ordered actually another figure as well that I've been kind of eyeing. I've been, twist my rubber arm. If the chance comes up or it's on sale or if I happen to be on that site buying something else anyways, I'm going to buy this said figure as well. You'll know what that said figure is in the upcoming review. But what do you guys think of Despara? Let me know down below in the comment section. What other deep-cut characters, lesser-known characters, do you think that Mattel should tackle next and be exclusive to their site? Let me know down below. If you guys did also enjoy this video, by the way, do it a solid and throw it a like. Yeah, if you guys want to stick around for more so, and I certainly hope so, because we are going to be looking at another Master Universe figure. It's not going to be a deep cut. Many people are probably going to be familiar with this character, and it has a lot to do with the Horde. That video is, by the way, going to be coming your way, so making sure you're coming back with peepers peeled. As always, guys, thanks for watching. See you guys next time.